Level 1. The Drowning Man. You're 38 years old. You're a chemical engineer. Or you were. The plant shut down 8 months ago. Now you're stacking shelves at Home Depot for $14 an hour. The foreclosure notice is taped to your front door. Your wife's medical bills are scattered on the table. Your daughter needs to go to a school you can't afford. Not anymore. The guidance counselor says she's gifted. She needs opportunities, but you can't give her any. You sit in your car in the driveway. You can't go inside. You can't face them. Your phone rings. It's Marcus. You went to college with him. You haven't spoken in 10 years. He says he has a job for you. He says it's chemistry work. He says it's cash only. But you don't ask questions. You say yes before he finishes talking. Because you'll do anything it takes, no matter the cost. Level 2. The Basement Chemist. You're standing in Marcus's basement. There's a table, there are plastic bins, there are boxes of cold medicine stacked to the ceiling. Marcus hands you $500. He says this is your payment. He says he needs the product by Friday. You know what he's asking. You've known since the phone call. You're cooking meth, small batches. You're using pseudoephedrine extracted from cold medicine. The process is simple. You learned it in undergraduate chemistry. Your product comes out clean, 92% purity. Marcus tests it, and his eyes go wide. He says this is the best he's ever seen. Local dealers pay $800 a pound. You produce 4 pounds in your first week. That's $3,200. You take the cash home in a paper bag. Your wife asks you where you got it. You tell her you got a consulting gig. She cries, she hugs you. She says she knew things would get better. You feel nothing. You're already planning the next batch. Level 3. The Fugitive. A dealer you sold to gets busted. Traffic stops. The cops find 2 ounces in his glove box. He's looking at 5 years. He gives up Marcus's name in the first hour of interrogation. Marcus calls you at 3 a.m. His voice is shaking. He says the dealer talked. He says the cops are coming. You have 6 hours, maybe less. You drive to the basement. You dissolve everything in muriatic acid. The equipment, the product, the containers, everything. You dump it in the river behind the industrial park. The fumes burn your throat. Marcus is waiting by his car. He's panicking. He says he's running. He says he's going to his cousin's place in Nevada. You never see him again. But this isn't the end for you. You can't stop now. You're just getting started. Level 4. The Strip Mall Cook. You rent a storage unit behind a failing shopping center. Unit 47. It's $120 a month. You pay cash for 6 months up front. You buy real glassware from a lab supply company. You use a fake business license. You're producing 8 pounds a week now. Your purity is 96%, and you've got 3 regular buyers. They don't ask questions. They just hand you envelopes. You're making $25,000 a month. You paid off your wife's medical debt. All of it. $47,000 just gone. You paid for your daughter's school. You bought your wife a used car. She thinks you got a new job. She thinks you're doing corporate consulting. She's happy. She hasn't been this happy in years. But you're lying to her every single day. You tell yourself it's for the family, but you're lying to yourself. The truth is, you enjoy this power far too much to stop. Level 5. The Killer. It's 2 a.m. You're in the storage unit. You're mid-cook. The propane burner is going. The flask is bubbling. But then, you hear the lock break. The door flies open. 4 men. They're wearing bandanas over their faces. They have baseball bats. A rival gang. They traced your product back to you. The first bat hits your ribs. You hear them crack. The second bat hits your face, and your nose explodes. You taste the blood. You fall. They kick you on the ground. One of them is laughing. They take everything. Your equipment, your product, the $40,000 in cash you have hidden in the toolbox. They leave you on the concrete floor. You can't move. You can't breathe. You wake up 4 hours later in a pool of your own blood. You can't go to the hospital. You can't call the cops. So, you drive home. You stitch yourself up with fishing line and vodka. Your hands are shaking. Your wife is asleep. She doesn't hear you. As you enter the bathroom, you look in the mirror. Your face is unrecognizable, but you will have revenge. You find out where the rival gang stays, an apartment complex on the east side. You make a special batch with a bit more kick to it. You leave it in their usual drop spot. You're 2 blocks away when it detonates. The explosion flattens the entire apartment. 5 dead, 3 more in critical condition. The news calls it a gas leak. You know better. Word spreads in the underground. Nobody touches you now. You're not a cook anymore. You're something else, and you love it. Level 6. The Regional Player. A distributor from Phoenix reaches out. His name is Hector. He says he's heard about your product quality. He says he's heard about what you did to the bikers. He says he respects that. He wants 30 pounds a week. That's $60,000. You can't produce that much in a storage unit. You need to scale up. You find an abandoned meatpacking plant outside city limits. The owner died and no one's been inside in 3 years. You break in through a side door. It's perfect. Concrete floors, industrial ventilation, loading dock in the back. You hire 2 assistants, desperate men who ask no questions. Ex-cons, addicts, men with nothing to lose. You install real lab equipment, rotary evaporators, fume hoods, vacuum pumps. You're not cooking in a basement anymore. This is industrial manufacturing. You produce 40 pounds a week. Your purity hits 98.2%. Hector is moving everything instantly. He says he's never seen product like this. He says you're an artist. You're making $120,000 a week. You bought a house, a real house, 4 bedrooms. Your wife cried when you gave her the keys. Your daughter has her own room now. She's thriving in her new school, and she made the honor roll. You have everything you wanted, but you can't stop building your empire. Level 7, the hunted target. It's 4 a.m. You're at the plant. You hear the battering ram at the door. DEA. You run. You installed a drainage tunnel for this exact scenario. You crawl through 200 feet of concrete pipe. You come up half a mile away. Your car is waiting. You drive and you don't look back. Your 2 assistants get arrested. One of them talks. He gives them everything. Your name, your address, your face. You're on the news by noon. Local chemical engineer wanted for manufacturing methamphetamine. Federal charges. 20 years minimum. Your wife sees it. She's at the grocery store. Your face is on the TV above the checkout lane. She calls you. She's crying. She's screaming. She's saying she's taking your daughter. She tells you not to follow them. She says if you love them, you'll disappear. You drive to the house. They're already gone. The closets are empty. Your daughter's stuffed animals are nowhere to be found. There's a note on the kitchen counter. It says, "We never knew you. You can't eat and you don't sleep and you can barely breathe." But then the cartel reaches out to you. A text message from an unknown number. "We've been watching. We can help. Cross the border. We'll find you." You have no choice. You pack $800,000 in cash into a van and you drive to Tijuana. Level 8, the Cartel Chemist. You're in a concrete bunker. You don't know where you are. They put a hood over your head. They drove you for 6 hours into the mountains. You're in a hidden super lab. 20 armed guards outside. Generators, climate control, equipment you've only seen in pharmaceutical facilities. This is the Sinaloa Cartel. The boss is named El Cuervo. He's 50 years old. He's wearing a suit that costs more than your first car. He speaks perfect English. He says he's seen your work. He says your purity is exceptional. He says you're going to cook for him now. 200 pounds a week. He offers you 2% of profits. That's $400,000 a month. But there's a condition. You have to train 3 backup cooks. You have to teach them everything you know. You're training your own replacement. You understand what this means. You're valuable until you're not. You accept, because you have no choice. You start cooking. The product is perfect, 99.1% purity. El Cuervo is pleased. He sends you a bonus, $50,000 in cash. You don't spend it though. You hide it. After all, you know what comes next. Level 9, the Survivor. It's Tuesday. You're in the lab. You hear the explosions, RPGs. The walls shake, concrete dust falls from the ceiling. You hear machine guns, 50 caliber rounds punching through the walls. A rival cartel, the Baja Federation. They want the lab, and they want you. The firefight lasts 40 minutes, 12 guards dead. You're hiding under a steel table. You're covered in blood, but it's not yours. The shooting stops. El Cuervo's men drag you out. They throw you into an armored truck, and they drive. You're evacuated to a safe house in Guadalajara. El Cuervo is there. He's calm. He pours himself a drink. He tells you that you're too important to risk. He tells you that you're moving to a more secure location. He tells you that you'll have 24-hour security. You realize what's happening. You're not an employee anymore. You're an asset. You're a prisoner. You can't leave. You can't run. You're too valuable. You sleep in a bedroom with bars on the windows. There are guards outside your door. You're making $400,000 a month. But you can't spend $1 of it without permission from the cartel. Level 10, the Poisoned Executive. 6 months pass. You propose a new distribution method. chemical precursors hidden in legitimate pharmaceutical shipments. You design the entire supply chain. It cuts costs by 40%. It reduces DEA interdiction by 70%. El Cuervo is impressed. He promotes you. You're not just the cook anymore. You're operations. You oversee logistics. You manage supply chains. You have an office. You have a title. You're a cartel executive. A lieutenant named Raul doesn't like it though. He's been with El Cuervo for 15 years. He thinks you're rising too fast. He thinks you're a threat. He slips arsenic into your coffee. Small doses. You get sicker every day. Headaches, vomiting. You can't keep food down. But then you figure it out. You test your coffee and there it is. Arsenic trioxide. You confront Raul privately. You don't raise your voice. You give him a choice. Loyalty or a bullet. He drops to his knees. He begs. He swears loyalty to you. He says he'll never betray you again. You shake his hand. You forgive him. You pour him a cup of coffee. He drinks it, and you watch. He doesn't know that the coffee is laced with ricin. It takes 3 days. He dies in a hospital. The doctors say it's organ failure. Well, they're not wrong. You attend his funeral. You shake hands with his widow. You realize it's kill or be killed, and for some reason, you really enjoy that. Level 11, the Betrayer. El Cuervo is changing. His paranoia is getting worse. He's executing people for small mistakes. A driver was late with a shipment. El Cuervo had him hanged. An accountant made an error. El Cuervo had his family killed. You see the pattern. You're too close. You know too much. Eventually, he'll decide you're a threat too. You have to move first. So you make contact with the same cartel that attacked your lab. You offer them everything. Your formulas, your lab locations, your supplier contacts. In exchange, they kill El Cuervo and make you a partner. They agree. The deal is set. You're a traitor now. You're betraying the man who saved you. You tell yourself it's survival. You tell yourself you have no choice. But you're lying. You want this. You've been waiting for this. You want the power that had cost you your family. The least you deserve is to have an empire once again. Level 12. The Warlord. The Baja Cartel hits El Cuervo's convoy on the highway outside Hermosillo. 50 men, assault rifles, RPGs. El Cuervo's armored SUV is hit with a rocket. It flips and it burns. You fire the bullet into his skull personally. You're running operations for Baja Cartel now. You're converting the Sinaloa's labs. You're turning El Cuervo's soldiers. And you're executing his loyalists. 3 months of bloodshed. Firefights in the streets. Bodies dumped into the desert. Mass graves. 300 dead. You personally order 40 executions. Men you've worked with. Men you ate with. You give the orders over the phone. You don't watch. You don't need to. The Baja Cartel wins. You're second in command of the entire Western operation. You control 5 states. You have 2,000 men under your command. And you're worth $200 million. You live in a fortified compound with concrete walls and guard towers. You have absolute power, and yet you still need more. Level 13, the Ghost King. The boss died. Heart attack. He was 68. Died in his sleep. The Federation votes. It's unanimous. You're the new leader. You run a $4 billion operation. You control production, distribution, and enforcement across 6 states and 3 countries. You have 5,000 soldiers. You have politicians on payroll, senators, judges, police commanders. You order killings with a phone call. But the walls are closing in. The DEA has a task force of 200 agents dedicated solely to you. They've frozen your shell companies. They have wiretaps everywhere, and they've even flipped 3 of your lieutenants. You haven't left the compound in 8 months. You can't leave. You can't trust anyone. Your food is tested for poison. Your communications are encrypted. But then, your old phone buzzes. The one from your old life. The one you keep hidden. You haven't turned to it in over 7 years now. But on it, there's a message. It's from your daughter. She's 23 now. Dad, I know everything. I need to see you, one time. The cafe where we used to go, Saturday at 2. Please. You miss her. And she was one of the main reasons why you started all of this anyway. You're so happy that she reached out to you after all these years. Saturday comes. You take 2 guards with you. You wear a hat and sunglasses. You switch cars, twice. You see her through the cafe window. She looks just like her mother. You walk in, and she stands up. She's crying. You reach for her hand, but that's when you see them. Black SUVs pulling up. 12 of them, blocking every exit. DEA agents in tactical gear. Your guards reach for their weapons, but you tell them to stop. You look at your daughter. She's sobbing. She says, "I'm sorry. They said they'd arrest Mom if I didn't." The agents burst through the door, guns drawn, screaming, and they throw you onto the floor. Your daughter won't look at you. You're being dragged out. Cameras everywhere, news helicopters overhead. You started cooking to save your family. You paid their medical bills. You sent your daughter to the best school, and you provided them everything, but it's cost you everything too. The people you sacrificed your life for were also the ones who betrayed you in the end.